Dolly Parton spent a lifetime carefully navigating the public sphere, choosing to keep her political opinions largely private even as American politics grew more polarized. She understood the weight her words carried and the risk that any statement could be amplified or misinterpreted far beyond her original intent. In a 2021 conversation, she explained that she tried to be very careful when she spoke out. She recognized that people listened closely and often made more of her comments than she intended. While she held personal opinions, she described herself as not an opinionated person by nature. Beliefs and faith, she said, are individual, and they should function as tools rather than weapons. This approach shaped how she engaged with the major issues of her time. When she did speak on matters of public interest, it was usually tied to causes she felt deeply about rather than partisan battles. One clear example came during the COVID-19 pandemic. Parton donated $1 million to Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Tennessee to support research that contributed to the Moderna vaccine. She later expressed satisfaction at having been able to help address a crisis that had become such a widespread hardship. Even so, she noted that vaccines themselves became entangled in partisan debate, complete with misinformation that spread widely. The experience illustrated the difficulty of remaining above the fray once any public action enters a polarized climate. Parton also spoke about the pressure that comes with being placed on a pedestal. She said she asked God daily to let His light shine through her, recognizing the gift she had been given to connect with people. She was careful with that gift because audiences often came not simply to see her as an individual but to see the parts of her they could relate to. This awareness informed her reluctance to turn her platform into a political megaphone. Her most consistent public advocacy centered on childhood literacy through the Imagination Library, the nonprofit she founded in 1995. The program has distributed hundreds of millions of books to children around the world, beginning in her home region of the Smoky Mountains and expanding far beyond. She once described herself as somewhat addicted to the feeling of giving and the knowledge that she was doing something good for someone else. After her death, politicians from both major parties praised this work, noting how the Imagination Library had opened brighter futures for children in their communities. The broad bipartisan recognition underscored how her focus on literacy transcended typical political divides. On rare occasions, she offered lighter or carefully worded observations about elections. During the 2016 campaign, she remarked that a woman might do a great job as president and that Hillary Clinton might make as good a president as anyone, yet she declined to endorse a candidate. She joked that no matter who won, the country would face presidential mood swings. When a friend compared her to Donald Trump, she deflected with a comment about their similar hair and moved on. These moments showed her ability to acknowledge the political moment without fully entering it. She also declined offers of the Presidential Medal of Freedom more than once, first citing her husband's health and later declining again under a different administration. Former President Barack Obama later called it a mistake that the honor had not been extended during his time in office. Parton did visit the White House as a Kennedy Center honoree and appeared in photographs with multiple presidents across decades, yet she never allowed those associations to define a partisan identity. When asked about running for office herself, she dismissed the idea with characteristic humor, saying the country had already had enough boobs in the White House. She preferred to make a difference through her songs, her acceptance of people, and her efforts to point others in a positive direction. She did not consider herself qualified for political office, whether from a lack of the right kind of intelligence or from having too much of another kind. Her qualification, she felt, lay in the work she already did. Where she did speak more openly was on matters of acceptance, particularly regarding LGBTQ+ rights and marriage equality. She endorsed same-sex marriage years before it became the law of the land nationwide, and she later spoke against restrictive legislation affecting transgender people. Her consistent message was that people should not criticize or judge others, that everyone is a child of God, and that individuals should be allowed to be who they are. If judgment is required, she suggested, that is God's business rather than anyone else's. This stance aligned with her broader philosophy of love and acceptance without turning into a partisan campaign. Throughout her career, Parton balanced enormous public affection with deliberate boundaries. She understood that her platform could be used as a tool for good or as a weapon in cultural fights. By largely avoiding the latter, She preserved the ability to speak when it mattered most to her, on literacy, on basic human dignity, and on the simple power of kindness. The result was a public persona that felt welcoming across many divides. People from different political backgrounds could claim a connection to her music, her humor, and her generosity without feeling that her every word carried a party label. Her approach offers a study in restraint. In an era when celebrities often face pressure to declare positions on every issue, Parton chose selectivity. She protected the space between her personal beliefs and her public statements so that the statements she did make retained their force. When she funded vaccine research, donated books, or affirmed the worth of people regardless of whom they loved, the actions and words carried weight precisely because they were not part of a constant stream of politica commentary. Even after her death, the tributes that poured in from across the political spectrum reflected the success of that careful balance. Leaders who disagreed on nearly everything else could agree on the value of her contributions to literacy and the joy her music brought. That shared recognition would have been harder to achieve had she spent decades aligning herself firmly with one side or the other. Parton's method was not silence. It was intentional speech. She used her voice for the causes closest to her heart and The fourth season of Jeopardy! Masters brings together 6 of the game show's highest-ranked players for a concentrated stretch of competition that tests both knowledge and consistency under pressure. The series premieres on a Tuesday evening and runs across 2 separate weeks of episodes before crowning a champion. Host Ken Jennings has noted that because the field is so strong, the clues themselves will push into more difficult territory than standard Jeopardy! Episodes. Some questions may leave even experienced viewers wondering how anyone is expected to know the answer, yet the point is to discover just how deep the top player's knowledge runs. Invariably, Jennings has observed, some of those hardest clues still find correct responses. The season consists of 9 hour-long episodes. Each episode contains 2 half-hour games that follow the classic format: a Jeopardy! Round, a double Jeopardy! Round, and final Jeopardy! Eliminations occur as the tournament progresses. After the 6th episode, the field narrows to the top 4 for the semifinals. After the 8th episode, the top 3 advance to the finals. The 9th and final episode determines the 2026 Jeopardy! Masters champion, who receives the Tribeca Trophy and a substantial cash prize. The release schedule is designed for concentrated viewing. Episodes air on consecutive weeknights for the first 4 nights, then return the following week for another 4-night run, with the finale landing on a Tuesday. Specifically, the first episode airs on a Tuesday, followed by episodes on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The competition resumes the next Tuesday and continues through Friday, with the championship episode scheduled for the Tuesday after that. New episodes air in the evening and become available for streaming the following morning on the major platforms that carry the series. The field includes the reigning Jeopardy! Masters winner returning to defend the title, along with recent finalists and winners from other high-level Jeopardy! Tournaments. Jennings has likened the gathering to a class reunion, joking that he feels like the aging professor who grows older at every gathering while the students remain sharp. The familiarity among the competitors adds an extra layer of intensity. These players have faced one another or similar elite fields before and understand the level of precision required. When the series was first developed, producers experimented with formats before settling on a structure that forces the top players to face one another repeatedly. The goal was to create a true test of mastery rather than a single high-stakes game. By packing 2 games into each hour-long episode across 9 episodes, the tournament generates enough matchups for every combination among the 6 players, while still allowing clear progression through quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. Viewers can watch new episodes first on the broadcast network that carries the series. The following day, the episodes appear on the streaming services that hold the rights. Previous seasons of Jeopardy! Masters and Classic Jeopardy! Episodes remain available on the same platforms for those who want to revisit earlier competitions or simply enjoy more of the format. The elevated difficulty level is intentional. Standard Jeopardy! Already demands broad knowledge, quick recall, and strategic wagering. Jeopardy! Masters raises the bar further because the contestants have already proven themselves at the highest levels of the game. Clues that might be considered obscure in a regular episode become fair game here. Jennings has described the mix as containing plenty of accessible material alongside those "how could anyone know that" moments. The result is a competition that rewards both depth of knowledge and the ability to perform under the unique pressure of facing only the strongest opponents. For longtime fans of the franchise, the tournament offers a concentrated dose of elite play. The schedule, nightly episodes across 2 weeks with a finale shortly afterward, allows viewers to follow the narrative without a long wait between installments. The structure also mirrors the intensity of the competition itself. Once the games begin, there is little downtime. Players must stay sharp across multiple matches in a short span, adjusting strategies as the field narrows. The prize and the Trebek Trophy provide tangible markers of achievement, yet the real draw is the display of mastery. Watching players who have already won major tournaments battle one another reveals the outer edges of what is possible in the game. Some will excel in categories that reward specialized knowledge. Others will demonstrate superior buzzer timing or wagering discipline. The format ensures that consistency across many games matters as much as any single brilliant performance. As the season unfolds, audiences will see how the initial 6-player field reduces step by step. The early episodes establish the hierarchy and begin the process of elimination. The middle stretch determines the semi-finalists. The later episodes heighten the stakes until only 3 remain for the final showdown. Throughout, Jennings's hosting provides continuity and the occasional reminder of just how demanding the material has become. The availability of episodes the morning after broadcast makes it easier for viewers with different schedules to keep up. Those who prefer live viewing can tune in each evening. Those who prefer on-demand can catch up the next day. Combined with the ability to revisit earlier seasons, the platform arrangement supports both new and returning fans. In short, the 2026 Jeopardy! Master Season delivers a focused, high-level competition across 9 episodes with a clear and compact release schedule. It begins on a Tuesday, runs through consecutive nights, pauses briefly, resumes the following week, and concludes with a championship episode a few days later. The players are among the strongest the game has produced. The clues are calibrated to test the limits of their knowledge, and the format ensures that the best overall performer across multiple games will emerge as champion. For anyone who enjoys the purest form of Jeopardy! Competition, the tournament offers a concentrated showcase of skill, strategy, and intellectual endurance.